news in the city. Today we have Mike Guardabascio from the 562 here to talk about everything that's going on in schools, and there's a lot. So if you have any questions about schools, ask them in the chat, and we'll try to answer them as best we can. Mike knows a lot about everything. That's why his beard is so big. It's full of secrets. So if you want to join our server in our Minecraft community, the link to sign up will be below, and we will send you the info as soon as possible. Actually, when you sign up, the info will automatically be there in the sign up thing. So let's jump into it. Mike, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and the 562 and what you cover? Because you cover a lot.
Sure. Yes. I am a Long Beach native, born and raised. JJ and I are sports writers at the 562.org. Like a good chunk of the Post staff, we used to be at a daily newspaper in town. We got laid off and started a nonprofit local sports outlet as a way of kind of keeping sports coverage going in the city. And we have a partnership with the Post, and I'm very jealous that you have figured out a way to work video games into your work schedule. I appreciate you having me. So we cover sports in the city, and I think we've got a good amount of expertise on that, but that expertise has not been worth a lot, obviously, over the last 5 months with everything being shut down. So we've pivoted to doing quite a bit of education coverage for the Post, which obviously is news and information that is in really high demand in the city, particularly for the 70,000 LBUSD students and the several thousand LBUSD teachers and all the parents of the kids and everything else. So
nice. So right now we are at Angel and Stitch, mural created by Ziva David after our last stream we had about 2 weeks ago was a mural mural stream where we had Asia on.
That. Yes, yeah. I have been following. Now I have to say that I am like a complete Minecraft newbie. My son Vincent, who's 7 years old, I'm sure will be an expert within a year or two. My daughter Maya might be joining him as well. I see the Chuck E. Cheese's.
Yes.
Now, do they have to close that down since Chuck E. Cheese's is shutting down?
Yeah, it's closed. But it's still alive in Minecraft. So.
I like that. That's good. So yes, I am sort of a newbie, but I have been following the stuff you guys have posted on social, and I think it's awesome that they've got this. You've got this big like Long Beach replica going on in here. It's so cool.
Yeah, it's been pretty cool. Like it started out as like these like kind of boring white blocks, you know, just a layout like a layout of the city. And it was done by blockers.
Geoblockers.
I think it's called geoblockers, where they like make like maps out of like GIS data, and so
Right.
it started off as like these like blocks, and everyone's just been changing them into like making it more lifelike, and you know putting brick where it belongs and windows, and it looks just really cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Okay, so I was going somewhere. Oh, I was going to show off. So Ziva David did another one that she sent to me, which was cool.
Another mural.
Yeah, and it's a. There's the one mural that we saw last week, which was a Mario mural.
Nice.
And this one's Rabbit in the Snowstorm, and she said it's a Avengers. No, not Avengers, but a. Marvel reference. There we go. Yeah. And I vaguely know what Rabbit in the Snowstorm. Like I've heard it. It sounds familiar, but I don't know exactly where it's from. But yeah. So you have been covering the schools, and they're going to be online basically for the foreseeable future, at least until October 5th. Can you tell us a little bit about like how that panned out? Like because it was so uncertain for a while.
Yeah, I think that the Long Beach Unified School District they were very committed to opening the schools and getting kids in. And obviously with the way that the numbers spiked and everything, I mean, and they had unveiled a plan of, you know, we're going to open on September 1st. This is what it's going to look like. That was much earlier in the summer. After the cases began to spike and LA Unified School District said they're going to start online They came out and said they'll be virtual only until October 5th, as you mentioned. They're again a little bit more focused on
Oh, it
getting.
got frozen.
Are we frozen?
Sorry,
Oh, that's okay.
I didn't know my Minecraft stream was frozen. You're fine. You can keep
going. So they set the date. I think some of the school districts had said sort of to the end of the year, the first semester will be online, and they've just got it through October 5th at the moment. I've talked to a number of people in the leadership over there, including the superintendent, Jill Baker, who's joined us for a couple live streams with the Post. And I think they're just really feeling the pressure of sort of the two Long Beaches, right? Like the Post has done so much reporting on the digital divide and the economic divide. And I think you have, over in the suburbs, quite a few people who are really angry and how dare you think about asking your kids to go back to school. And then you also have the working class and poorer families, downtown and on the west side in North Long Beach who are going, if I don't work my job, I don't get paid, and I can't bring my kid to my job with me, And so there's this real back and forth, and I think the teachers feel a little bit pulled in both directions on that they want to be with their kids and do everything they can do, but they also obviously, don't want to be exposed to the virus and everything else. So I just think Long Beach is going through what the whole country is going through in terms of it's gonna be a heartbreaking decision no matter what happens. I know in my family, I don't know what we're gonna do with our kids. When school starts, my wife is teaching and I'm working, and I think every family I know, we don't know anyone who has stay-at-home parents, right? Like that's just not the reality for most families, and so I don't know. It's gonna be a really tough time this fall for sure.
Yeah. So you mentioned your wife is a teacher. Can you share a little bit, what is it like personally to go through this
for her or her husband?
Yeah, for her and for you guys as a family?
I think what she has really described is, I think teachers are going through what everyone's going through to an extent, which is there's a certain amount of uncertainty about everything that's causing anxiety, right? And I think what's difficult for her and for a lot of teachers is it's a difficult job, but they're used to a certain amount of predictability. Like the schedule for the 2021-2022 school year is up on the LBUSD website right now. So if we wanted to go plan our vacations for summer 2022, we know when she's getting off. When the school day starts and ends. You get your schedule and you can start planning it out. And she's one of those teachers who likes to do her lesson plan for the year over the summer, and you can't do it right now. They don't know, is she going to be teaching from a desk right over there, or is she going to be teaching from her empty classroom? You don't know if you're coming back to school at some point, or if it's going to be online for the whole first semester or even the school year. There's just so much uncertainty that she's just been dealing with a lot of anxiety about it, and I would say we know quite a few teachers. I would say that is a feeling that is shared by many others in the city's largest workforce of the LBUSD teachers, for sure.
Yeah. And right now, just to let our audience know, our Minecraft stream is down.
I broke it.
You broke it. We usually have our guests, we've only done the remote once before. Usually we have the guest 6 feet away from me.
I did break it. I'm sorry.
No, you didn't break it. You didn't break it. No, you didn't break it. But we're just working through some technical difficulties, and we'll be back with the Minecraft soon. But in the meantime, we're just going to keep talking about education because it's really important, anyways.
With the void here between us.
Yeah, this is the void. Mike and Val talk to the void.
Right, here's everything I know about what education will look like this year.
Yeah, it's pretty accurate. So there is a possibility kind of that, even though it's for sure going to start online, there is a possibility that it's going to be in person,
right.
if COVID cases go down. So what was I know there was a development, or maybe not a development today, but we wrote about it today, about the choices that parents have to make. They have to make basically a choice to whether they want a hybrid or if they want to just stay online.
And
as
I'll
a
talk about this as a parent since we're in the Minecraft server and I can be a little more informal. So we have a second grader. Our son's going into second grade, and what we had to do is go into Parent View, which is the website where I find his grades and attendance and all that stuff, and decide, do we want to sign him up for in person full day for elementary school, which is an option that's only available for elementary school. Do we want to sign him up for a hybrid where he's at school half the day and at home half the day? Or do we want to sign him up for an all day or, all virtual for the whole school year? And because they have to plan for the teacher schedules, the class schedules, they're asking people to this week make a commitment for what they want to do over the course of the school year. We signed our son up for going to school in person with the understanding that it's likely not going to happen October 5th, right? It likely will be a little bit longer, but with the hope that the numbers continue to go down, LA County comes off the state watch list, and that's possible. And I would add, I think this is another place where you sort of see the two Long Beach thing. You see all these people on Facebook that are sort of, how could you even think about sending your kid to school at any point during the school year? But the school district said 62% of the people who've responded have signed up for some version of hybrid in-person learning. And from talking to my friends, there's like all of this guilt and fear and anxiety, but people have to work, and so it's just a really difficult situation. I would add that, just to reiterate, because I think a number of readers have been confused about this, you're signing up for the whole school year. You're not signing up to send your kid to school on September 1st. Everything's virtual at least October 5th. I believe it will likely be a good while longer than that. But when the state and the county and the city health departments have said it's safe to reopen, that's what you're signing up for a plan for.
Got it.
Does that make sense? I feel like it's so complex with all of the contingencies that I don't know to what extent it doesn't actually make sense to people.
Yeah, it's kind of confusing. You basically, I don't know what my record is. I think I've only tried it a few times. I'll show you the archery range.
I'm excited.
That we're talking about. So this is the Grand Prix track.
Okay, the seaside right there. Yep.
Yeah, so Rob, I think the Pie Master, made it out of ice, and we can race boats on it, which is really cool. Yeah, I need to figure out how to do that though. He kind of gave me a little primer via email, but
right. If you stand in that tunnel, if you get a media credential and you get to stand in that tunnel during the Grand Prix, I would advise bringing earplugs. That with all the concrete there, that is about the loudest spot on Earth that I've ever experienced. So.
So I wanted to check out, I don't think Jordan's Tunnel is ready yet. I saw a sign yesterday that it was closed to the public. So HSDN made this Performing Arts Center build.
Oh, that's so cool.
It's super cool. This is brand new. He's been working on it for a while, or they've been working on it for a while.
I played a concert in the Performing Arts Center. Yes, when I was a middle school violin player at Hughes Middle School, I was in the all city orchestra. We got to play a concert in there for our parents. It was the coolest thing ever.
That's so cool. I used to play violin too.
I think all journalists started out as violin players.
Yeah. Hey, Rimuhi. Nice to see you. And Ziva Devi.
Guys?
These are some of the players. And this is the theater.
That's so cool.
I'm not sure what show it's set up for right now. Maybe
something with the house.
Something with a house and clouds, yeah. And it's there's even it's so detailed. It's so cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's very cool. Wizard of Oz, maybe? Yeah, that might work.
Yeah, okay.
That's cool. So this was a really cool build. I was excited to show you. But yeah, so I don't know. It does make sense that you would have to choose now because they have to make the plans for schools and for teachers. I just couldn't imagine making that choice as a parent so far in advance. I think that's where it kind of gets pretty confusing.
Well, if you just consider the virus has been with us effectively for it's almost 5 months to the day since the LBUSD shut down, and you consider that in those first couple weeks it was really scary, and then it was like, okay, it seems like we've got a handle on this.
Oh God.
Everything will definitely be back to normal by the fall,
Mm-hmm.
and then obviously later in the summer everything got really out of control on the numbers. So yeah, in 5 months we've had two or three reversals in terms of everyone's emotional state.
Mm-hmm.
And right, we're sitting here trying to make a decision that lasts for 10 months. I mean, it's just
Yeah.
really, like it's I don't know, it's basically impossible. But like you said, I get it. I do understand they need to figure
Mm-hmm.
out um, where the teachers' schedules and attentions are going, and they have to put the classes together. So
Yeah. Yeah. I can't imagine making that choice for sure. I'm just looking at all the details that he's added. It's under construction still,
okay,
but we have a parking
that's good.
person.
It's very important in Long Beach that we get the parking kiosk built.
Anaconda. Yes. And the convention center looks like it's almost done. Anaconda's been working on it
Awesome.
a lot, and this has been a massive build. Like they've been working on this since like the beginning of this whole thing. It's awesome, Anaconda. I love the floor. That's like my favorite part of it.
That's great. Wow.
And then Ziva David added a art gallery also inside of it. All of these doors in real life are useless, and it always angers me that I can never open those doors. They all don't work.
I covered, before JJ and I started writing sports, I covered a number of comic book conventions at the Long Beach Convention Center, and I did learn it was easier to just find someone with a door open at the back.
Yeah. Yeah. So we have a Chibi Hatsune art. This is a little art gallery that we have in here. It's
so cool.
It's a lot of fun. People can add their own art to the thingies.
I just can't believe how, like, even down to like the carpet pattern, like it looks so real. It's crazy.
It's so amazing. Man, I've built like 2 things on this, and I'm like, I can't do it. So it really amazes me when everyone just has the patience to build and be detailed about it.
Yeah, for real.
And this is like the swan boats they've added, which is really cool.
That's awesome.
You can't do anything. I think you're pretty good, Ziva. But yeah, so here is the pike. And then they have like the signs for the Grand Prix. I'm thinking for our grand finale, we might want to do like a Grand Prix race or something like that. I don't know.
Maybe we should cover that. It's like the only sporting event that's going to happen in Long Beach for the rest of the year.
Mike and JJ cover the
so
Minecraft Grand Prix.
We'll be sitting right over there.
Ziva, how do you? I keep pushing it before I can jump into it, and I have issues. They told me once how to do this, and I don't know how to do it. See, she's just hopping. She's just hopping from side to side. I don't get it.
She's taunting you.
I know. Right-click the boat. Okay. Oh, I'm in it.
Nice.
Oh, and I can drive it. Uh-oh. Wait. Okay, this isn't working. Maybe we won't do a Grand Prix race.
I don't know. This looks like my kind of Grand Prix race. Lots of crashing.
Okay. Ooh, this is cool. Okay, so you kind of have to like, because it's on ice. This is actually ice. Oh, this is so cool. Oh, I'm going to crash into everybody. Okay. Whoa, I'm probably making all of our viewers like dizzy.
No, that's what we need. We needed about 30 people in there crashing into each other. That'd be great.
Well, that was cool. And we also have tanks in here. These tanks were added to the server like 2 weeks before the National Guard came. And it was really prophetic.
I was about to say, are the tanks a prediction?
They were actually. They were like really prophetic. It was kind of weird. It was where are you guys at? I got lost. Okay. Where are you at? Yeah, it was super weird. It was the first day of the server that the tanks were added. Yeah, I don't know who added them too. It was kind of okay. I got it. Okay, Rob, lead the way. Lead the way, Rob. Nope,
Like Rob's suit.
There it is. Okay. See, you gotta like.
He's got a faster boat than you.
Alright, man. Come on. This isn't working. There we go. Okay. Okay. We got this. We got this. So, so also, well, back to schools, do you know, is there like a difference between like what the plans are for elementary schools versus like older grades?
Yeah, which is, if you look at transmission rates and who's had serious illnesses, we think of schools as being K through 12, but there's pretty big differences in the effect that it has on people under 10 and older, teenagers. So I think it's good that they are differentiating those. I would also add that, for my son who's going into second grade, we don't, his pediatrician recommends we don't have him staring at a screen 6 hours a day, right?
Yeah.
Where you can expect high school students to be a little bit more self-motivating and all that regarding that. So the biggest change is there is an option when you do your instructional program choice for elementary school to send your kid to school for the day.
Okay.
Not at the school my son's at, that's 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. They would spend half of the day with a teacher because the class would be split in half. So the teacher would spend the first half of the day with one half of the class, and then the second half of the day with the other half of the class. Their counselor or the science teacher who sort of goes between classes would spend the other half of the day with the class, sort of supervising independent work. So that's not an option. I don't believe there's an all-day option for middle school or high school. Those are both hybrid, like you're on one day, off the next day. So the biggest difference is just that, like kindergarten through fifth grade, you're sending them back to school, more or less full-time option. That does not exist for the older kids.
Okay. Got it. So right now I am in the boat with Rob the Pie Master. He's driving, so I don't have to crash into everything.
Oh, that's good. That was nice. Thank you, Rob.
Thank you, Rob. You got us over the finish line.
Yeah, we crossed the finish line on Shoreline. We're feeling good about ourselves. We get to go take the champagne bath on the Circle now. I like it.
Yeah, it's kind of like...
You guys are so much more knowledgeable than me about Minecraft, but I'm confident I'm more knowledgeable about the Grand Prix.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's kind of rendering slowly, but it's working. Yeah, let's see the archery range. I'm going to hop off, Rob. I don't know how to hop off. I think I right-click.
Thanks for the ride, Rob.
Thanks for the ride. How do I get off?
He's going to let us
off.
He's going to let us
there off. There we are.
Okay.
Thank you. I don't like this not first-person situation. Oops. Okay.
Are you a football player?
No, it's a Long Beach Post cap and t-shirt. It's just blue. That's good. David's son taught me how to do that, how to dye like your outfit or whatever.
Okay.
So it's pretty cool. We also have
shout out to David's son.
Yes. We have the touch pool at the aquarium that we're going past now.
That's
and
awesome.
We're going to the archery range, which is cool and is usable. Let me switch to that. Okay.
Val, did you know that the archery range at El Dorado Park was the site of the 1984 Olympic archery competition?
Ah, I didn't know that. Where is the record? The record is all the way back here. Wow. See, I can't make that record. I think there's a sign, though.
They hit a target from back here?
Yeah. It's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. So, and then also, I wanted to ask about the teachers. Are they still being required to teach virtually from their classrooms?
So that is a great question, and that is hopefully something we'll have a final answer to in the next week or so. Everything that the school district has said is that, yes, that is their requirement for technological and any other reasons. They're asking the teachers to work from their classrooms. The teachers are sort of saying no thanks to that, which has been the
Yeah.
subject of some fairly intense and heated labor negotiations between the Teachers Association of Long Beach and the school district.
Hmm.
Um, their next meeting is on Thursday, and then they have two more meetings, bargaining sessions next week. The sort of difficulty on that, Val, is the teachers union is very powerful, and this is like basically the only thing that they do not bargain for. Like the
Hmm.
school district has complete control over work location. So
Okay.
if the school district says we want you teaching from your classroom, they're sort of using the, I think, levers that they can pull to say we feel this is a health and a safety concern.
Hmm.
But I haven't seen any indication from the school district yet that they're going to back down from that.
Hmm.
And the teachers union has said that they would consider a strike in the event that accommodations are not made for people who don't feel safe doing that. So that's kind of from an education perspective. As a reporter, that's sort of the big story the next couple of weeks for me is who blinks on that and what happens if they remain at an impasse. We've never had a teacher strike in Long Beach in the history of
Yeah.
the city. So it's going to be interesting for sure. In fact, I don't know that it's even been floated, until last week, over the
Wow.
last like 30 years or something. So it's definitely pretty tense at the moment.
Wow. Okay. Do you think so what's the argument, I guess, in favor and against, like, or against teaching from the classrooms? Like, I know a lot of people are like, well, why can't they just do that? Obviously they're not going to watch their
Yeah,
kids while they work.
right. I think the school district's point is that the biggest complaint they got from parents in the spring was that their teachers, the internet connections weren't good. Like there's a big
Mm-hmm.
difference between having personal internet at home and being expected to broadcast for several hours a day from your house. So
I
um,
see.
I think the quality control over wanting to get everyone on campus so that they can at least theoretically, I mean, the Wi-Fi on the campuses are notoriously terrible as well. But I think it's from the district's perspective, it's like, okay, it's at
Mm-hmm.
least a solvable problem to them at that point,
Mm-hmm.
whereas they can't go to everyone's house, right?
Right.
So from the teacher's perspective, they're going, some of us do want to teach from the classroom, but some of us have kids that we don't want to find daycare for, that we're going to
Mm-hmm.
need to supervise in our own houses. There are teachers who have underlying medical conditions. I know
Mm-hmm.
someone who teaches with my wife is in that boat, right? Where she, just for safety reasons, does not want to leave her and hasn't really left the house for 5 months and does not,
Wow.
other than for medical treatment.
Yeah.
And so then there's also people where, they've got their parents living with them,
Mm-hmm.
or there's just people who are just worried, and just saying everything we're seeing says stay at home as much as possible. What's the difference between me going into work versus doing it from home? I think the challenge is, quite frankly, for someone like my wife who's in her mid 30s and we've got 200 megabyte per second internet. I don't really think there is that much of a difference, to be honest with you. But I'm
Mm-hmm.
also aware that a decent chunk of the teachers union is teachers who are less familiar with technology, who are less comfortable setting up a broadcasting space in their house. And so I think that's like I keep telling everyone on all these issues, like everyone is correct. Like the school
Yeah.
district is right to want them on campus, and the
Mm-hmm.
teachers are also right to say, if I can do this at home, I should be allowed to do it, right? Like I don't think anyone's in the wrong. I think that's part of what is such a difficult knot to untangle.
Mm-hmm. I did see that you replaced my sign, "Thank you, HSDN." I was pleasantly surprised to find mine and Stephanie's first build was like a big LBC sign,
Okay,
and we put it on outside the Performing Arts Center, and I
nice.
was like, "You guys can destroy that and actually put the actual Performing Arts Center if you want." But they
That's
saved
great.
it and they just moved it, which was very nice. So, well,
I see the Queen Mary over there.
yes, it's not done yet, and it's the bane of my existence.
Oh, I see. We've only got the one
Yes.
smokestack.
They our first stream, we the assignment was we're gonna build this lighthouse together, and then within 3 hours before the stream even started, they had already built it and built half of the Queen Mary in addition.
That's great.
And so
I like the Avengers logo too. This is good. I want to go live here. It doesn't look like they have the coronavirus in there either.
Yeah, they don't.
Everyone's just wandering in and out of theaters. It's great.
Yeah. So I'm still patiently waiting for somebody to finish the Queen Mary. But I'm going to leave this here. Thank you so much for joining us, Mike. I really appreciate talking about education and just learning about all the sides and all of the issues that are going on. And also, I wanted to let everybody know that we will be having a season finale or final stream in 2 weeks. So it's August 26th, I think. And we want your ideas for the final stream. So whatever we should do, if it should be a extravaganza or a race, if we want to do a Grand Prix, whatever you guys want, and we'll try to do it.
Rob, if you're building Stevenson, I hope you're building King Louis Burgers across the street, Rob.
Oh, he already built it. Okay,
what?
Actually, yeah. I'm sorry.
That's my favorite burger spot.
Let me go show you. I have to.
Yes, I'm gonna hold your stream hostage. I have to see.
We have to show Louis Burgers. I know there's a way to transport over there, but I suck at transporting, and it scares me because you have to go into the netherworld to transport. It's scary. I don't like it.
Oh my gosh. Well, thank you so much for having me and letting me talk through the education stuff. I actually think talking about it makes a little more sense than writing about it because it's so complicated. There's so many different sides of it that it's difficult every time you write it because you know that any quote you put in is pissing off 2/3 of the people, and any point you make is pissing off 2/3 of the people, and it's difficult to just call the balls and strikes and hope for the best for all of our teachers and students and parents and the school district and everybody. So complicated time for sure.
For sure, it's hard. I can't imagine being a parent right now.
Well, we've been locked in the house with our kids for, with our 4-year-old and our 7-year-old for 5 months here. We did just get them into swimming lessons, which I was happy for.
Oh, nice. Okay, I can show the roller coaster next week. I'm waiting for this to render so I can see where I'm going. I know the general direction where it's at. I'm so mad I didn't show you Louis Burgers when we were over there. That's been done for a while.
We cover sports obviously over at Poly quite frequently, and I actually have a lot of friends of mine who went to Stevenson, and King Louis Burger. I've probably taken a full year of my life off with cheeseburgers from King Louis Burger. So
that's funny. Where am I? Did somebody just transport me? Oh, they did. Thank you for whoever moved me. Sometimes they'll transport.
Can you do that?
Me.
You can you can transport you. You can kidnap people through the nether zone.
So. Okay, there we are. I don't know.
Oh,
I
that's
don't know
awesome.
how to do.
Oh, they got the drive-through too. They even have the perilously narrow drive-through. That's great.
Is this the drive-through? Wait, where's
that drive-through coming out the left side there is what that looks like. That's great.
Yeah, it's done on the inside. I think Rob or HSDN did this.
Well, great job to whoever did it. That's awesome.
Can't open the door. How do I open
it? Yeah, you got the green leather seats in
Teleporting.
there.
Rob, can you let me in? Oh, okay. Just destroy the door. That's fine.
That's so cool.
Yeah, they have the kitchen and the menu. It's really cool. And the soda fountains.
You are by far, I have to say, journalists are just an unhappy bunch throughout this virus, but you have really found the corner of the world that is peaceful and happy, Val. Great job.
Thank you. Oh, you activate the pressure plate. Thank you, Ziva. See, Ziva's the expert on this.
Okay.
So, there's a pressure plate. I was why is it sometimes I can get in there and sometimes I can't? Anyways, so thank you all for joining us. And remember to send me your ideas for a finale And the server will still be up after that for the foreseeable future. So if you still want to play, if you still want to meet up with your friends on this, go for it. We love to see people using the server and building Long Beach in it. So thank you so much, and join us next week.